Hey everyone, Megan with Campus Recreation. Thank you for joining me for this week's episode of Nutrition Intermission. And yes, we are tackling macros. So they definitely seem to be a hot topic these days, but what are macros? So it's a fancy short term for macronutrients, and there are 3 macros. So carbohydrates, protein, and fat. And all food is composed of some combination of these 3. As the term implies, macronutrients just means that the nutrient is needed in large quantities for normal growth and development. They are the body's source of calories or energy to fuel all of our everyday functions and life processes. We'll start off today by tackling carbohydrates. These are the body's preferred energy source. They are made up of chains of sugar molecules and contain 4 calories per gram. Couple of different types of carbohydrates. We'll start with monosaccharides. So these are glucose, fructose, and galactose. Glucose is the dominant sugar in nature and the basic building block for most carbohydrates. Fructose is fruit sugar, which is the sweetest and is found in various levels in different types of fruit. Galactose joins with glucose to form lactose, which is a disaccharide and is found in milk. Couple other disaccharides, maltose, which is 2 glucose molecules formed together, and sucrose, which is glucose and fructose combined together to make table sugar. Oligosaccharides are chains of 3 to 10 simple sugars, and polysaccharides, these are long chains of sugar molecules. So glycogen is the only polysaccharide humans can fully digest and can be found as an animal carbohydrate in meat and seafood and as a starch in plant-based products such as grains and vegetables. Complex and simple carbohydrates, as the name implies, complex is made up of long chains of glucose, and simple carbohydrates are short chains of sugar. The role of carbohydrates in the body is to fuel us during high-intensity exercise, and they also spare protein so we can preserve muscle mass during exercise. They are also the fuel for our central nervous system and our brain's most highly coveted form of energy. So food sources for carbohydrates include grains. Remember, we want to choose those whole grains for added benefits. Dairy, looking for those low-fat or non-fat options most often. And fruit, so eating those whole fruits more often than consuming fruit juices. Next, we tackle proteins. So these are the building blocks of human and animal structure. They're built from amino acids and contain 4 calories per gram. There are 8 to 10 essential amino acids, and these cannot be made by the body. They have to be obtained through the diet. In general, animal proteins contain all of the essential amino acids. These are referred to as complete proteins, while most plant-based proteins do not. Soy is the only exception to this. You can combine incomplete plant proteins to provide all essential amino acids. So a combination of grains and legumes, so things like rice and beans, grains and dairy, so pasta and cheese is a good example, and legumes and seeds, and falafel is a great example of that as well. Protein's role in the body is to assist with tissue structure. So protein is part of our organ tissues, muscle, hair, skin, nails, bones, tendons, ligaments, and blood plasma. It also assists with metabolic transport and hormone systems. It's part of our cell plasma membranes. It makes up enzymes that regulate metabolism, and it also is involved in the acid-base balance to maintain a neutral environment in our bodies. Food sources of proteins, there are legumes, which are beans, lentils, soy products like tofu, peanuts and nuts, whole grains, so quinoa, oats, and brown rice, seeds, meat alternative products, some vegetables, and those animal sources. Rounding out today's discussion, we are tackling fats. So these are the most energy dense of all macronutrients. They provide 9 calories per gram. Their role in the body is as an energy reserve. They do protect vital organs. They provide insulation, and they transport fat-soluble vitamins. Couple of different types. So unsaturated fatty acids are typically liquid at room temperature. They have a shorter shelf life and are susceptible to oxidative damage. Monounsaturated fatty acids are found in olive, canola, and peanut oils, and polyunsaturated can be found in corn, safflower, and soybean oils, and also cold water fish. Essential fatty acids must be obtained from the diet because the body cannot produce them, just like those proteins. So omega-3s, there are 3 forms. So ALA is found in plants and can be converted to EPA and DHA in the body. EPA and DHA can both be found in egg yolk, cold water fish, and shellfish. Omega-3s reduce blood clotting, dilate blood vessels, and reduce inflammation. They assist in eye and brain development, act to reduce cholesterol and triglyceride levels, and may help to preserve brain function. Omega-6s, these are found in flaxseed, canola, and soybean oils, and also green leaves. They seem to contribute to inflammation and blood clotting, so it's vital to balance the omega-3s and omega-6s for maintaining normal circulation and other biological processes. Both saturated fats and trans fats lead to clogging of arteries and increase risk for heart disease and other health conditions. Saturated fats are typically solid at room temperature, can be found in red meat, full-fat dairy products, and tropical oils like coconut and palm oil. They also increase your level of LDL cholesterol or bad cholesterol. Trans fats, so from our conversation over the last couple weeks, you know that trans fats can be listed as partially or hydrogenated oil, and trans fats are a result of manufacturing to make unsaturated fats solid at room temperature to prolong shelf life. Trans fats are heart damaging and increase LDL cholesterol, which again is that bad cholesterol. So cholesterol is a fat-like waxy structure that plays an important role in cell membrane function. It helps make bile acids, metabolize fat-soluble vitamins, make vitamin D, and also assists in making some hormones. Cholesterol causes a problem when there's too much in the bloodstream. Some sources of fats include oils, nuts, seeds, meat, fish, and dairy. So thanks for joining me for our crash course in macronutrients. I do hope that you gained some knowledge from our discussion today. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Have a good one.